Welcome to the Woodpreneur podcast, the best podcast for the business and marketing side of the sawmill, lumber, and wood industry. What's a woodpreneur? If you have a business where you make money as a woodworker, sawmill owner, selling slabs, or a content creator, then you're a woodpreneur. My name's Steve Larosiliere, and I started Woodpreneur Life, Acres of Timber, and the Woodpreneur podcast just for makers, wood entrepreneurs, and small business owners just like you. We're on a mission to empower thousands of wood businesses to grow sustainably and put out great products. Each week, I interview makers, sawyers, content creators, and 6- and 7-figure entrepreneurs that know the wood industry inside and out. With topics covering everything from the urban lumber movement, sustainable sourcing and design, we'll discuss the ins and outs of how to grow, monetize, and fully immerse yourself in the woodpreneur lifestyle. If you're a hobbyist, a full-time wood business owner, part-time entrepreneur who wants to become a content creator, or quit your day job to pursue your dreams, the Woodpreneur podcast is just for you. Thanks so much for listening. Now enjoy this episode. Hey, welcome to a brand new episode of the Woodpreneur podcast. This is your host, Steve Larosiliere. Today's guest is Peter Pomerantz from Pomerantz Cabinetry. How you doing, Peter?
I'm doing great, Steve. How are you?
Good. Thank you so much for hopping onto the podcast. Can you tell everybody about Pomerantz Cabinetry? What do you guys do?
Sure thing. Most of what we do these days is kitchen cabinetry, custom cabinets for some contractors in our area as well as out of our area, and working pretty exclusive with contractors, designers, and architects.
Awesome. Tell us the origin story. How'd you get started?
Yeah, a good question. So my plan wasn't really to be a lifelong cabinet maker, but I did spend my childhood playing in the woods and helping my dad make maple syrup at our house here in Vermont. And eventually I went to college for actually adventure education and was an educator in that for a while. And then decided I was doing it woodworking as a hobby. I built a kayak. I built a canoe. I did some carpentry as summer jobs, and then I jumped in and worked for another cabinet maker for a few years and decided that was something I was going to stick with and wanted to build a business out of it. So here I am, 17 years later.
Wow, 17 years. What if you recall back the first 5 years, what were those years like?
Well, they were pretty wild because actually I built a shop when we knew we were going to have our first kid. So my wife was in the house with a baby. I had just got the shop going, and it was 2007, the start of the Great Recession.
Yeah.
So it was definitely living check to check and doing everything I could, saying yes to every possible job that came my way, and it worked out well. It was kind of honestly, it was like my 5-year plan. I was going to be in that shop while my kids were really little, and just work really hard and then grow from there. So it was good to get through that 5 years, honestly.
So do you have a 17-year-old right now?
I do. He's about to turn 17. Yeah.
He's about to turn 17.
Yeah. That's been a wild ride.
So you had 2 kids at the same time, basically.
Yeah, well, they're 2 years apart. So,
no, I'm just saying the kid was being the business, and then.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
How did you get the word out?
I was pretty active right out of the get-go. I spent some extra time working on my branding, working on getting really good photos, and I built a decent website at the time. And then just the relationships that I was able to make, I was able to really foster those as I grew and just have really happy clients. And word of mouth, in this area spreads pretty fast. And so it all seemed to work out as far as that goes. But I had to say yes to a lot of jobs that maybe I wouldn't say yes to now.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of 16-hour days and sleepless nights and that sort of thing. And I traveled and, left the state a few times. I had some clients down on Long Island and Philadelphia once, a few jobs around the Boston area, and so I wasn't afraid to go to the work.
What was the original vision for the business then, and how is it different or the same now?
Hmm. It's still pretty similar. When I got going, I knew that I wanted to be bigger than what I could do alone.
Mm-hmm.
I knew that I wanted something that was, um, beyond myself, and that I wanted to put a team together. The team was much smaller then. I was pretty quick to hire one employee and then a second employee, and now I have four full-time employees plus the occasional apprentice.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I think we're pretty similar in our vision that we're really good at custom kitchens, and that's our thing. And we've just gotten better at it, and scaled up and gotten bigger and able to just do a little bit more. And we actually just broke ground on a new shop that we're building across the road from us right now. So
Wow.
and that'll be our third shop, and we're
Bigger?
really excited about that. Yeah, yeah. So my first shop I built at my house, and that was about 800 square feet or so.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew it was actually too small, but I was able to work really efficiently, figure out the tools, and it did work for the 5-year plan. And then the next 10-year plan was where I am right now, which is a building I bought, and that's about 3,500 square feet, but it's all on different floors and a little funky, and we had to do a big renovation. And I knew that was going to be a little smaller than I needed. And so now we're doing a 6,000 square foot shop across the road, and I know that that's actually again going to be a little smaller than what I need, but it's going to just force us to work smart, and at the same time we're hoping to increase our ability to serve our loyal contractors and designers and whatnot.
That's really cool. What so you said four full-time employees?
Yeah, we've got four full-time employees right now. We often have a apprentice or an intern from the local high school. Currently, we don't, but usually we'll have one or two of those throughout the year. Sometimes they'll stick around and do some summer work as well. But yep, that's where we're at.
Um when it came to approaching investment into business, what did that look like beyond just like buying a shop? Like what sort of tools really made tools or people or systems? Like what was the investment look like? And then what was the investment that really kind of took you to where you needed to be?
Yeah. Honestly, I think it's my employees. In
Mm-hmm.
the first stages, the first 5 or 8 years, I was pretty tool focused, and we got nice tools. Nothing crazy. I have an associate offsite that does CNC work, and so we just got really solid woodworking tools. But really, in the last 8 to 10 years, it's been focused on investing in the employees. And I'm very fortunate to have the team that I have now. They've all been with me for quite a while, 5 to 8 years or so.
Mm-hmm.
And, we're a tight family here, and anything I can do to give them more time off or pay them better or reward them for their work seems to be the best investment I've, I've had so far.
And what in terms of types of employees, which ones were the ones like what was the first one? Was it like more shop or was it more uh it, or admin help?
Yeah, mainly shop. I mean, it's been. I've sort of been the guy behind the curtain, wearing all the different hats of admin. In the last couple of years, one of my employees has taken on a lot more of the design role, and that's
Mm-hmm.
freed me up to focus on the business role and focus on getting this next shop in the ground. And, and then I have another employee that does all the ordering and some of the inventory kind of stuff. So, it's a little bit of a mix, but, we're all pretty hands-on. We try not to get too bogged down with the administration side of things.
For sure, for sure. And the biggest source of leads and projects have that been through contractors, architects, designers?
Definitely. So some of these contractors that I've been working with, I've actually had a relationship with them really almost since the get-go. A couple of them since I started. And
Wow.
they've grown while I've grown. And
Mm-hmm.
we've just all sort of had the same team attitude of just trying to make the client happy as well as, be able to put food on our table for our families and enjoy where we live here in the beautiful state of Vermont.
That must say a lot about you. The fact that you still work with people that you've started working with 17 years ago. Would you consider yourself a good, loyal friend slash associate business person?
Yeah,
Like it kind of sounds like it.
yeah, I'd like to say so. Yeah, it's mutual though. It's we're just we're lucky to have a good crew of contractors and professionals in this industry that care about the crafts and and then that trickles down to the clients that ultimately appreciate fine things and nice houses and kitchens and that sort of
Hmm.
thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I'm pretty easy to get along with.
What's your approach to or mindset around competition?
Mm. So it's kind of funny you say that because actually I've hired who some people would think is my competition to help me with, maybe make some extra parts or make some doors, or if I have, an extra piece of furniture or something I need to be made, I reach out to my quote unquote competitors.
Hmm.
So I don't view the other shops in my industry as competitors.
Hmm.
Cause we're all kind of, we're all pretty specialized and really probably our competition is more of, the pre-made, manufactured,
The RTA,
semi-custom.
those
Yeah,
those.
some of that sort of things. Yeah, or maybe some of the kind of higher end stock cabinet companies.
Yeah.
So yeah, yeah,
People taking the soul out of the craft.
a little bit of that. Yeah, a little bit of that for sure.
How do you,
Hmm.
I'm curious, like what what's your because you've been in it for 17 years, right? Like first off,
Uh-huh.
congratulations. That's a really I mean, my first business, I was at it for about 17 years as well. It's still going on. We're hitting 20. And
Nice.
it's not a easy it's not an easy thing in a world where folks just kind of do other things or ADD and other
Yeah.
interests. What made you stay so committed and connected?
Mm. I think, well, one is, raising a young family and needing to, pay the bills and be able to buy things to enjoy and that, support all that. But, two, I think as I grow and as our projects get, as our bandwidth sort of grows and our projects get better and designs sort of evolve. I get a little thrill back from doing new things and seeing what the latest trends are, and then figuring out how to make those and it's sort of a loop, and then seeing the contractor site and then the clients ultimately super stoked about what they're getting, then kind of gets me a little bit more jazzed up to do the next thing, and then as we're doing that, the whole business is scaling up and growing a little bit more and more at the time. Um, so yeah.
So it's in your eyes, it's constantly changing.
Yeah, it is. It's like it's similar, but it's also evolving. It's evolving and growing, and that keeps it interesting. You know,
Yeah.
there's not one, even though we've done, hundreds of kitchens, there's
Mm-hmm.
not one kitchen that we've done that's been identical. It's
Yeah.
like what they say about snowflakes, right? Snowflakes,
Yeah.
every snowflake's different. Um, and so we get that in our world. That's kind of how I look at it. Each kitchen going out the door,
Each
it's
kitchen is a
actually
little
different.
different.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Um, how have you embraced technology?
Mm. So I feel like I started in this business reasonably young compared to other shops in our area.
Mm-hmm.
And because of that, I actually felt like maybe I had a little advantage,
Yeah.
whereas a lot of other guys were still hand drawing out, all their drawings. I instantly got the latest CAD program. I'm pretty savvy technology wise, so I've always, tried to kept up with that, and I
Mm-hmm.
think that gave me a leg up a little bit, which
Mm-hmm.
separated me a little bit from kind of the older school traditional cabinet makers in Vermont.
Yeah.
Um, so we're still looking forward to ways to improve the technology. I do have a question, kind of at some point about how AI is going to play a role in the wood industry, whether it be marketing or the business or the fabrication, but we haven't really gone down that road ourselves yet.
We can save that for the question, maybe.
Right.
um, that's cool. How have you? So like that. So I understand you said like this business has provided you with a certain life and lifestyle, and so that kind of kept you in it. And then the other thing was the fact that it's constantly changing and nothing's the same. So like you'll
Yeah.
have the challenge of like bigger kitchens, better materials, new trends, and you're able
Yeah.
to adapt to that. I
So,
get that. But for you, how do you personally stay ahead, developed, excited, motivated, like you as a business owner leader? I'm just trying to like understand a little bit about, like what keeps you ticking.
yeah, what keeps me ticking? I think part of it's just the quality of life that I have where I live and the activities I do. I spend a lot of time outside. I do some adventure racing, some ultra marathon stuff. I'm able to, spend a day in the shop, and then I might spend all night running in the woods and be able to just, get get focused on myself, and then come back into the shop sort of refreshed and ready to take on whatever the challenges are. But I think ultimately it gives me a great quality of life, so that keeps me in the game.
For sure, for sure.
Yeah.
What part of that job do you absolutely detest? What part of this industry business do you like? You know, I think you kind of hinted at it in terms of like the people trying to suck the soul out of this, but like, is there anything that you don't like about it?
Um, Boy, it's a good question. I don't think I really have one specific thing. I really don't. I'd have to come back to that. I can think about that more. I mean, uh, we have occasional challenges, curveballs, the unforeseens that pop up, um, the random phone call that something doesn't match right or something. There's always like that, a little bit of like, uh-oh. But that on the flip side, that keeps us on our toes a little bit.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Um. Ooh, what happened to my camera? Can you still see me?
I can see you. Yeah.
Okay, good, good.
Yeah.
So tell me, how's this year been going so far?
It's been super exciting because, like I was saying, we're just breaking ground on the shop across the road,
Mm-hmm.
and the last 12 months I've spent with permitting for it, as
Mm-hmm.
well as setting up some financing with my banker for it. So that was all pretty stressful. You know, we thought we were kind of in the clear on certain things, and then all of a sudden we find out that we got some big obstacle to get over before we were going to get our next um, get our permit or something signed off on it, so on and so forth. So it's been a little bit of a juggle with that. But as far as what's been happening in the shop floor, we've really had some amazing jobs that we've been part of, and it seems like that's going to keep on coming our way. So it's been productive for sure.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So tell me, so this is a part of the podcast where I give you any advice, or marketing advice. Is there anything that I could? Is there anything I can help you with?
Yeah, actually, so as our shop grows and our bandwidth grows, ultimately, we're not looking at adding many clients because we're really building this larger shop to serve the clients and contractors that we have maybe a little bit better. But just to stay diversified, I am trying to link up with a couple more designers or contractors out of the area.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Ideally, the greater Boston area and then maybe one in the New York area.
Mm-hmm.
Both spots historically I have served and been to do work things, and we still have a little trickle of odds and ends, but we're trying to come up with a way to target a couple connections in that area. And so I
Mm-hmm.
always wonder, do I leverage any personal connections that I have in that area, or do I blindly try to target some, Instagram marketing or whatever in a specific area?
Mm-hmm.
Or what would you suggest in something like that from a marketing perspective?
So the question is like you'd like to expand your geographic area, and in traditionally in the past you've worked with some people in other cities and states. And
Mm-hmm.
so the question is like, how do I best reach people? Do I go cold or do I try to leverage any existing relationships? Is that the question?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Okay. So I say it's not or, it's and. That's the way I
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
look at it. Um the way that I truly would do what you're doing is like I would take, so I'm looking at your website. I would create a page called For Designers Architects, and
Mm,
I would make a list of the different architects that you work with, um,
yep,
potentially, and maybe make it password protected or something, just in case
yeah,
somebody. And what I would do is like create a page, that's password protected, and I would, on that page I would put a video of you and your shop and say, hey, um, this is Pomerantz Cabinetry, and I just want to say, over the past 17 years, we have done an amazing job working with people just like you. Here's how we work with you. And we do
I get
this, we
that.
do this, we do this. This is our process, and we absolutely love it. And some of the people that we've worked with in the past, uh, this is who they are, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah, right.
and then you would get testimonials and quotes that are below the video, and just
Yeah,
say
right.
we have the capacity to serve more areas,
Yeah,
because we have these tools, this team, this, and here's some examples of projects that we've done together, right? And I'd say, I would love the chance to quote your next project. Can you please contact us or give me a call, or here's my number, shoot me a text. I would love to walk through and give you a quote. And then, so that's what I would do on the like when they get it on the what's that called? Uh on the when you're I would scrape a list, get a list of
Yeah.
all the architects, all of the designers out there
Right.
in your target areas. Go to
Yeah.
Fiverr and build a list of people, name, address, phone number, emails, Instagrams, Facebooks. And then I
Yeah.
would, right after that, I would send them an email. I would send them a DM, and I would just say, hey, um, I would love to introduce my business to you. Is it cool if I send over a one sheet? And I would send them a one sheet because they're all going to say, send me some information. So like, okay, great. I have some information. It's a one sheet. And then on that one sheet, it would be a link to that private page. So then
Yeah.
they start to feel like, oh, this guy's courting me.
Mm-hmm.
And then once you get there, then you can convert them. But then you could just like as they do outreach, you can literally send them an email once or twice a month
Yeah. Right.
for years because you know they never get back to you, right? So like you just do this, and if you get 1 to 2 extra architects a year, what would that do for your business?
Oh yeah, it would be probably more than we can handle almost. Yep.
Exactly, exactly.
Yep.
And then you know what you do after that, right?
We grow. We do another shop.
Exactly. Or you start feeding the other cabinet shops in the area
Right. Yep.
and you project manage and you get a piece. But like you literally goes through Pomerantz Cabinetry
Yeah.
and you
Right.
like you could literally handle the marketing for the whole entire region with
Yeah.
that
Right.
strategy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
No.
Like and you already know who's slow because you feed them referrals anyway.
Exactly. Yep.
And then you know what you could do after that. I'm like totally like the foreshadowing for the future.
Yeah.
What you could do
Yeah.
after that is
Yeah.
you can get a bunch of signed contracts, right?
Yeah.
Let's just say you do this and you get like 5 or 10 people that are interested. You get and what's an average kitchen for you?
Oh, cost wise?
Yeah, like what like is
Yeah.
it are
Yeah.
you
I
at
mean, it's pretty tough to answer that because we have such a spectrum. But you're looking
range?
at 30 to 60,000.
Okay, so let's just say 40,000.
Yep.
Let's just say you somehow do this and you execute and you just get like 5 new kitchens, 6 new kitchens. That would pretty much overwhelm you, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Keep us on our toes.
It'd keep you on your toes. So then you can take those signed contracts, go to a bank and say, give me some money so that I can go out, right? Like you have signed
Yeah.
contracts now.
Yep.
And you
Yep.
don't always start on day one. There's always like, because there's delays and everything. So like you can
Yep.
literally take that leverage and that marketing and go out and just, and like leverage that, like say, hey, shop XY. And you run
Yeah.
CNCs, correct?
Yeah, yeah. Not in our shop. We have an associate
You have
another
associate.
shop.
Yeah,
Yep.
for
Yep.
sure.
But
So
we
anyway,
might end up putting one in the house. But yeah, sure.
so
Cool.
that's essentially it. That's the way I would, was that
Yeah,
helpful?
that was helpful. Yeah, I had not looked at it at that angle.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it is helpful. Thanks.
Cool. Awesome.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
Cool. So tell everybody your website and your Instagram so that they could follow your work.
Yeah. So the Instagram is just at Pomerantz Cabinetry.
Yep.
Definitely look that up. And honestly, our Instagram's really where we do most of our activity. And as you said, the word website, it's like, oh yeah, I should check that website. I don't even think I've opened it in a couple of years, but the website's just pomerantzcabinetry.com.
Cool.
And and again, that kind of trails back to the AI thing. I'm sort of waiting to review the website so we get in a new location, kind of figure out what the climate is, and then we'll start a new website. But for now, Instagram seems to work well for us.
Cool. I love
Yeah.
the photos on your website. I really like them.
Thank you.
They're
Yeah,
really,
thank
really
you.
cool.
Awesome. Thanks.
What's your mountain? Is it Sugarbush?
Sugar Bush is our ski mountain. Yeah, yeah, it's right in our back door. And Mattervick Glen's there as well. And then we're not far from Stowe. And we spent a lot of time out and outdoors. My whole team and I.
That's awesome. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
that's very, very, very yeah, the photos on your website, on your Instagram, really just kind of paint a picture. What I mean, if you wanted some
yeah,
advice
yeah. Give it to me.
on your social, I would do more
Right.
video for sure. I would
Yeah, right.
I would I mean, again, you will you will uh uh I mean, you're gonna stay busy, but if you really wanted to dominate, I would show images of the shop and show the team building and installing and like clients, just kind of show the complete picture. Right?
Yeah,
There's a
right.
picture of you of your truck that's like it looks like an ad. The one
Yeah,
from November. It looks in front of
yeah,
the cab.
yeah,
It's like that's a cool picture. I was like, you make me want to get a truck right now. So,
yeah.
um,
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, no, I should do more. Part of it, we just, we've been so busy, and once we get this new space and we have that extra efficiency, and we'll try to focus a little more on bringing in some new clients for sure.
cool. Awesome.
Yeah,
Well, thank you so much, Peter, for your time. I'm so glad that we were able to make this work. Thank you again
sure,
for sharing your company with our Woodpreneur community.
definitely. Thanks for having me, Steve.
All right,
For
I'll talk
sure.
to you later. Bye.
All right, take care.